Hello everybody, my name is Starrapter and welcome to the channel. This week I will be talking about the latest update in Battlefront 2 as well as my review for Dr. Aphra issue number 29. I do this every single week for Star Wars. I take a look at all the new content that has come out that week. So make sure if you like this video you can support it by subscribing to the channel and commenting down below what your thoughts are. So that being said, as I mentioned, Battlefront 2 had another update. They've been going pretty consistent since the month of October, celebrating the Clone Wars, and we got another new hero. This is the last one that has been announced so far, at least. We don't know if we're getting more, and that is Anakin Skywalker. The Chosen One himself is now in the game. He is very strong as a light side hero. He actually has 4 abilities, so I'm going to walk through them with you guys. The first one is Passionate Strike, which will actually break a guard of a character, so very useful, does a lot of damage. He also has another ability called Heroic Impact, where he's able to actually push out with the force and an AoE force push around him. The longer you hold it, the more intense it gets. And another move he has is Pull Dominance, so he literally pulls characters to his feet, where he can basically stun them on the ground and then just start hitting them with his lightsaber, which also does a lot of damage. And finally, he is the first character in the game, the only character in the game right now that has a 4th ability, and this one is called the Retribution. This one's called Retribution, and what it is whenever his allies take damage, whenever he takes damage, it builds up the meter, so you can't use this move all the time. You have to get enough energy or whatever into it. It channels his aggression, and what he does is he AoE force chokes everybody around him in a certain radius. So yeah, that's pretty unexpected, but it is so cool because it plays thematically into Anakin Skywalker. So yeah, he is a force to be reckoned with. People right now are saying he's broken. Not sure what DICE is going to do. They did warn us saying he's going to be one of the, if not the most powerful light side force user or light side hero in general. But that wasn't all we had with this update for Star Wars Battlefront 2. We also had some big substantial changes to the way the Clone Trooper skins work. So they have gone through and completely revamped the whole system. So if you weren't familiar with before, they added several skins, but they didn't really signify the actual authentic look to the characters seen in the movies and the Clone Wars animated series. So they have took the feedback from the fans, and DICE did a lot of work, a lot of more work than I thought they would actually go through, because these are fantastic. We have both Phase 1 and Phase 2 Clone Trooper varieties for all these skins, and we have like 19 skins per variation or class. So you have 19 new trooper skins, you have 19 more heavies, 19 more officers, and 19 more snipers. And yeah, it's pretty awesome because first off, well, we never even had armored officers, so they've completely gone through all that and changed that all up. And now we can have Phase 1 Clone Troopers, Phase 2 Clone Troopers in the same map, so it's not, you know, era specific or planet specific for that matter. And it just does a lot to the variety. You'll never see in the same battle, like the same clones running around. I love having my Wolf Pack officer, pretty awesome. I got my 501st in there, and now it gives me something to grind out for, something to chase, because a lot of these skins look so awesome. They have the Coruscanti Guard in there. Ala Secura's own fours have these cool pauldron looking things. It's pretty awesome to actually see all these clone varieties and see that they're all so different, they're all so distinct, but they still hold the characteristics of their own class, so you can know from afar, basically, if you're going against a heavy, whatnot. So yeah, that was awesome. And one final thing, kind of a quality of life change, was the addition to an emote wheel. So before you could only have, I think, what was it, two or 4 different kind of emotes. Now they actually have a wheel that you can go and select. If you're a trooper character, you can go and select like a whole bunch of, I think it's like 8 or 12 or something like that. It's a big variety now that you can actually go through. So yeah, Battlefront 2 finishing up with the Clone Wars content, although I do believe they are still continuing on with Clone Wars because they are doing that large-scale game mode with the capital ships. That got pushed back until next month, and they're also going to push it back for the reason that they have 2 new reinforcements that they're bringing to the game. They haven't announced what exactly they are. There's lots of speculation that it could be clone commandos or the assassin droids for the separatist CIS. So there's lots to devour with Battlefront 2. If you haven't played it in a couple months, now would be your time to go play it, because there's lots of really cool characters. We have a total of 4 new characters since October. We have General Grievous, we have Count Dooku, we have Obi-Wan Kenobi, and we have Anakin Skywalker. So what more could you want? I mean, yeah, I could want more. I could take my Asajj Ventress, I could take Ahsoka. Maybe that will be the next 2 characters. I would love to see that, but we do not know what is coming out past March. Hopefully they'll give us some sort of roadmap in the near future. So, talking about comics this week, we have just one, but that is the mighty Dr. Aphra issue number 29. Unfortunately, this cover doesn't really match with what happens in the plot, and hey, that happens a lot in comics. So this is called Worse Among Equals. This is part 4. Such a zany adventure, as is always with the Dr. Aphra comic series. So we leave off in this mega cliffhanger where we have 000, we have Dr. Aphra. Remember, they have those bombs implanted in their brains. They can't get a certain distance away or they'll both die. The proximity bombs will go off. They are being held at gunpoint on Milvayne by bogus possessed Tam Pazla, who is leading these Milvayne troopers to arrest Aphra and 000. And well, 000 ends up talking to these troopers and says, hey, Tam Pazla is actually a guy that is a renegade. So then they all started trying to kill Tam Pazla. It gives Aphra and 000 a chance to escape. Aphra then goes ahead and puts new legs back on 000. They're running away through Milvayne, very busy skyways, I guess you can call them, for the speeders, and they end up having a little bit of company by Windlass and Nock, who are this Trandoshan, this human pair of hunters, and they go and trap Dr. Aphra with BT, who is also being possessed by this kind of creature, although I think they repaired him up since the Force Spawn, or whatever the heck they're called, the spores, right? So we have them plummeting to the ground, because I did not mention that this whole time everything is being televised throughout the network of whatever they're using on this planet or throughout this galaxy. Everybody on the planet is actually seeing through 000's eyes. It's basically like a TV show in the Star Wars universe, a reality TV show of them trying to survive, trying to escape from this hell that they are in. So we do have these Imperials that are actually looking in on this and saying this is not good for the PR, because these are PR guys for the Empire. They end up intervening, saying we can't get this thing out here, we got to do some orbital bombardment. That's basically what happens, is they start shooting at the ship that Aphra and 000 are captured on by BT and Windlass and Nock, and well, now they are plummeting to the ground here, and we're not going to know what happens. So that's basically where the issue leaves off. A very high pace, very intense, but there was some great moments of interaction between Aphra and we have 000, right? So they are both going to have to live with one another. Literally, they can't separate themselves, so they are trying to do their best with tolerating one another. We have an instance where 000 ends up kind of saving Aphra inadvertently, according to himself, that, hey, I can't get you killed because then I'll die. So he's got this self-preservation matrix thing going on, but Aphra is taken out as, hey, you actually care about me as a killer droid. You actually have some feelings for me. Another instance was when Aphra actually had to get the permission for her to turn off 000 in order to reinsert his new legs. And, well, he was a little bit reluctant, but he did end up giving in the end, turning himself off for 10 minutes. Aphra could have easily just, killed him or whatever and tried to do whatever. And he trusted her, I guess you could use that word, trusted her enough to actually do that. So that was another interesting part of that. I also did enjoy the bit in the beginning where Aphra is carting around 000 on her shoulders, kind of like what Chewie did with C-3PO in The Empire Strikes Back. And I do want to make a mention of, I like how they're expanding the Star Wars canon in this very issue with the whole of the Imperial propaganda, kind of the whole communications, the PR with the Empire, and how the Empire, they are known to be, the people in Milvayne are loyal to the Empire. The Empire doesn't know if they want to step in. The commander there doesn't want to know what he's stepping into. We have this shadowy hologram figure, which I don't even know the name for yet. This woman who is the head of the PR, I guess, and I like that whole dynamic. Plus, if you guys have watched Rebels, there was an episode later on in the series where it had this like listening post ship basically, and all the crew on there were basically like the Lobot type of headgear, and that these guys actually return in this very issue. Even the guy who had the goatee and the glasses, and that guy always stuck out to me in Rebels. I was like, why is this guy wearing glasses? I feel like I've never seen glasses in Star Wars, and it just looks so weird to me, and this is no different. So I thought it was just kind of funny seeing this. It could be the very same character. I'm not sure. Probably is. It's set during the same era. I mean, so I thought that was kind of funny. Moving over to my question of the week. This one comes to me from Robin McCormick on YouTube. He asked me, Star Wars Weekly, what faction is more dangerous, the Empire or the First Order? I gave some thought to this, and I will say I think that the First Order might have a slight edge compared to the Empire. I mean, if we're looking at statistically accuracy in the soldiers, I think you're going to have to give it to the First Order. These guys are pretty darn accurate. You just see them on Jakku just unloading on a bunch of these civilians. But not only that, you have to look at the background, the training, right? So you have the Empire. These guys are all conscripts. They just sign up voluntarily. They want to leave their systems of troubles and just join a greater cause. Yeah, so you're not going to get some of the best soldiers because, well, the Empire just wants to fill their ranks, right? The Empire just wants to maintain control across the galaxy. They'll do that any way they can. Whereas you're looking at with the First Order, this whole regime was built up from the ashes of the Empire. These guys looked at what went right and what went wrong with the Empire and tried to improve upon things that they could. Even their way of maintaining a force, of bringing in new soldiers, is completely different from the Empire. These guys basically program the children from birth for how to act and how to possess combat ability. Things of that nature are bred from a very young age, which is going to indoctrinate these soldiers into beings of weapons and beings of kind of to just go and spear point different kind of expeditions and whatnot. So, and if you're even looking at the technology, Starkiller Base was able to wipe out an entire system, not just one planet, an entire system in a matter of seconds. It's able to harness the ability of the sun. So with power of like that magnitude, what else could possibly be out there? Their starships are so much larger, right? You look at the Finalizer, if you look at Snoke's ship, the Supremacy, much larger. If you look at all their technology as well, like the TIE fighters now have hyperdrives, the TIE fighters now have shields. So everything's been an improvement, which I think would equate to just an overall better force for the First Order. They are a force to be reckoned with, even more so than the Empire. So that is my question of the week. If you guys would like your questions answered on next week's show, it's very simple to get your questions answered. You just have to send them in to the comment section below, just like Robin did for this week's question. Just hashtag it Star Wars Weekly. If you like using Twitter, you can send your questions to me that way as well. Again, hashtag Star Wars Weekly. So next week, you guys can look forward to Star Wars issue number 62, brand new series called Vader Dark Visions #1, as well as Age of Republic Padme Amidala issue #1. So what did you guys think about this week's release of Dr. Aphra issue number 29? Are you enjoying that comic book series? How about Battlefront 2? Have you jumped in recently? Now is a good time. Let's talk about it all in the comment section below. I also have other things on the channel that relate to Star Wars, such as my Star Wars Legion, product reviews and unboxings, and a bunch of other stuff. So if you like this video and want to learn more about Star Wars, it's a good idea to subscribe to this channel. That is going to do it for me, Starrapter. Thank you guys so much for watching, and may the Force be with you always. Thanks for checking out the video. Please hit that thumbs up symbol. It helps me know that I'm making content that you guys enjoy. And if you enjoyed this video, I also included 2 videos down below you guys should check out. And please consider subscribing to this channel. It helps support me and it notifies you guys of when I get new videos up on the channel. You can also contact me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Starrapter.